Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla and I am the owner of I Could Make That But, which is a small business that sells mostly crocheted plushies, but then some small crocheted accessories. And I'm so glad you're here. Today's video is a market vlog. Yay! So I have a ton of footage from the night before where I was doing a test run of my setup. I was going over a really big to-do list I still had to finish. And then I have some clips from the day of, not as many as I would have liked. I ended up needing my phone for a lot of the transactions, so kind of filming off to the side really wasn't in the cards, but I do have some footage. And then this video will end with a full recap of what sold, what didn't sell, and how much that I potentially made, which, spoiler, we did pretty well. So thank you so much for being here. Definitely grab your own crochet project or other hobby project to work on, because I have a feeling this one's going to be a little bit longer, and settle in. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, definitely like and subscribe, hit that bell notification so that you can see every time I post a video. We are very much into market season, so there will hopefully be a lot of market prep and market vlogs coming to the channel super soon. So let's get started. Hello. So I am starting the market day vlog here, even though I never actually finished the market prep vlog because I'm just doing really great things. But we're gonna start here, and so hopefully I can edit the market prep vlog and get that up on Sunday is my goal. And then I'll have all this footage and tomorrow's footage from the market to then upload either later that week or next week. Imagine weekly videos. Who knew? I have a really interesting tripod situation that's not a tripod, but I needed this angle because I'm making a to-do list for everything we have to do before tomorrow, because it's a lot and it's already 4:30, so we're doing great. So I am a visual list person. I also prefer to write my to-do list so that I can cross them out. That's really the big thing. And I don't know about anyone else, but I've been this way since I was like in college. I will purposely put things on my to-do list of things that I needed to do today, like for this that I might have already done, like on my way home from work. Spoiler, yep. Or like when I was in college, I used to literally put like get dressed, so I cross it out, and like for like if I was doing like a Saturday like or Sunday like a homework situation. So that's not going to not happen here today. So hopefully you'll be able to see this. Who knows? This is the first time I've ever done a video like this, so we're all learning. But the first thing I had to do was I had to get money, because a lot of people still pay in cash, especially for markets like this. The other thing that I do is that when I always go in to get the money, because I like to have a specific amount of each bill, and I will put on the back of the withdrawal ticket how I want it broken down, so that it's super easy for them to just go boop, 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 and then it bumps it out. So I've had multiple tellers say thank you for me for doing that. So there's a tip for you if you want, because the issue is if you go through the ATM, you just get 20s. Some ATMs are fancy and you can figure out what you want for each. The ATM at this bank, it just gives you 20s. So that's not helpful when you're making change. So we already did that, but we'll cross it off after. Part of the money aspect, because I'm going to keep things kind of grouped together, I need to make sure I need to update my Square. So I use the Square app on my phone to take payment during these things, And so I have to make sure that I have all my inventory updated. And I also just want to clean out my fanny pack because I've been using it for like an actual wallet, and that's what I generally use for market days because it can stay on me and it's easy enough to just then take money as needed. So those are 3 things as opposed to money. Other things that I need for the day of, I need to charge my fuel rod because I don't want to run out of battery for my phone. I need to, crap, there's something else that was like that. Alright, I'm going to now just start putting everything on here because that by separation was great, but I have so much in my brain right now, I just need to get it all out in here. So, we pivot. So I need to clean up my car. I want to do a mock setup. I need to pack my car. I also need to bring down my inventory. I need to get items out of the garage. So I store most of my inventory upstairs in my room, and then that's where I also put most of the display items. But the big things like my table, my tent, my weights, or tables, more than one, a chair, those are all going to be out in my garage. So I have to grab all of that. But with the mock setup, that will also kind of help see everything out and see what I still need. I need my makeshift tripod. The bottom are the bags that I need. So I need to gather bags. I also need to sticker bags. Now that I can do at the actual festival, but we're gonna put everything on the list just so that like everything that's currently living in my head can be dumped to here. I need to update my price tags. I need to print those out. I've been on a real journey with price tags and like how to do pricing in general. I've made sheets. I've made like just like a bunch of different things where people can look. I've tagged individual things with reusable tags. The thing I found that I liked the most was the July market I did. I literally had individual like pieces of cardstock that they were typed and they said what the item was and how much it was. And I literally just taped them all around to where everything was set up. I am not a person personally that really mixes and matches her inventory. I tend to keep things all very close together. It's what I like doing. It's like how I like to stay organized. That is by no means the correct way. That's just my way. So it doesn't make a difference if I have like tags like that, where they're like more central to where things go. So I have to kind of make sure I have all that. I need to finish the pumpkins because, spoiler, I have those same 4 pumpkins you saw 2 videos ago at this point are completely done. Every other pumpkin I have is in a different state of done, and none of them are complete. So, LOL, that's fun. So I need to finish sewing pumpkins. I need to finish stuffing pumpkins. And I need to finish putting stems pumpkins. Wow. My handwriting only gets worse, let me tell you. Okay, just a casual list to do. So we should get started. There's the list in full. I will add anything to this list that I might figure out that I still need to do, but guess what we get to do first is we get to check something off because I already went to the bank. So, one thing done. So many more to go. LOL, so that's everything. So, those are some of the unfinished pumpkins over there and the pumpkin making stuff. Oh, here's my sick tripod. And we are going to cross out, bring down my inventory. All right, now we have to see what the heck is in it. Okay, I'm gonna take this from the top of what I just said, but it took me, you can see behind me that my tent's up and the 3 tables are done and I am just a glorious sweaty mess. So that took me and lugging all of my stuff from the garage to here, which is probably around the same amount of space, around the same amount of walking I'll have to do to bring it to my spot. That took about 12 minutes. So I'm gonna just round up and say 15 because I'll also have all my bins out at that point and then I'll be able to move my car. So that feels like a respectable situation. One of the other things we have to add to my list of things to do is look at the map because I have to figure out where I am because they did tell me. So yeah, I will check back in when this looks better. Okay, so we are done. It is crazy buggy out, but I will walk through what the tables look like loosely, with some caveats of just some stuff that's not physically here yet, but let's do that. So starting over here is like my small stuff and like really like leaning into like a rainbow theme. I mean, most of my stuff I generally try to have like rainbow-ness just because it's a variety of colors. But we have the turtles, the mini octos all along here, the whales, the regular sized octos, the bees are all in this basket. There was a lot of moving things around, so I think this is how I like it, but who the heck knows for tomorrow. The crayons, this was a lot of different layout situations. This is where we're sitting for tonight and I'm okay with it. The birds are on top and currently they are sitting fine. The cats, I have 2 extra cats with my stuff to replace any that sell. Also, I have extra octos, like mini octos, to also fill in down here. I have my 2 monsters. I have these 2 bags. I knew about this one. I completely forgot I made this one. So one thing we will need to add to the list is I need to weave in these ends, because if I want to sell this tomorrow, those ends all need to be woven in. So that's exciting. My chicken nuggets are in a line right now. I don't know if that's how they'll stay, but for right now, that's how they are. My dinosaur, the popping mushrooms, which I might organize a little bit differently, but they usually do get this bin. My stress balls that are going to have an additional sign that say don't squeeze too hard, or like don't be aggressive with it. So, I don't know the phrasing yet, but they're all in this basket. The ghost, the balloon dog, my axolotls, they're all kind of looking at me. I might keep one out just so that people can see, but I haven't decided yet. This basket will be full of regular sized pumpkins, and I'll probably put the smaller pumpkins right in this corner. These birds are so loud. I apologize. I have my hanging flowers. I have my Stanley cozies, bandanas, flowers, scrunchies. The flowers I think I'm going to end up discounting because I just don't really want them anymore. My God, this bird has no chill. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I'm going to discount the flowers to, they're usually 6 each. I think I'll do 5 each. Honestly, I just kind of want to get rid of them, and I feel bad because I did put a lot of work into them, but they're just, I don't think I want them anymore. So hopefully the hanging flowers will stay the normal price. I do my hanging flowers for 15. So that is the current layout. I took pictures so I know what I definitely need signs of. I'm going to right now put things back into bins and take this all down. So that whole setup, even with all the changing around, which there was a lot, I am at about an hour since I got out here. So with the knowledge that we know where this stuff for the most part will be going tomorrow, that will cut down the time considerably. But yes, we're gonna do that and clean out my car so that I can get the tables and tent in and the big display items, and we'll put all the inventory inside. That's the plan. All right, we are checking in. It is 9:06, still Friday night. I didn't vlog any of it, but I just did all of the updating of my price tags, and I printed those, cut those, got those all prepped. I made my disclaimer sign for my stress balls. I updated my square and made a category specifically for tomorrow's market. So that's all great. And I'm now in pumpkin mode. So basically I'm just stitching up the sides and then doing the bottoms, and then I'll stuff next and then stem, and hopefully by like 10 those will be good. I do still have to weave in ends. My list is looking pretty good in terms of what we still need to do. I feel okay about it. My goal is to be in bed by midnight, and I think that's a fine goal. I'll probably get up tomorrow around like 6:30. I'm gonna leave my house probably around like 7:30. I reread the paper, and I can be there between 8 and 8:45. So I think I'm going to shoot for 8:15. I like that time. I don't love to be like the first one, like ready to like barge in. I did find out though that my cousin might help me set up, and I am very, very, very grateful for her for that, for even offering. So that will be a huge help if she can end up making it to set up. So that's great. I will say, because I do want to pepper in like market tips throughout this video, I really do recommend setting up ahead of time just to kind of feel out your inventory and the space that like you're being given. I've done for indoor markets. I've literally set up tables inside of the house. Outdoor markets, you obviously saw, I went to my front yard. One of the things is why I think that's important is, for me, my inventory, like the main items, stay the same for the most part, but I definitely have newer items this time. I have some items that I didn't bring back because I didn't have time to make any more, or I just didn't feel like it was worth restocking for this particular market. I will say that from getting this stuff out of my garage to setting everything up to bringing out all my inventory, setting up that, figuring out all of the ins and outs for that part, it took me, and then to pack up my car, including cleaning out my car, like part of it, it took me about an hour and a half. So yes, it's like a long time, but also not the longest of times that I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to take me a lot longer. So I'm actually really happy that it only took that like hour and a half. And I personally feel so much better because I saw a layout. I was able to take notes of what I still need to do. Like I said, I completely forgot about this market bag. And if I had waited until tomorrow to do that setup for the first time there, then this market bag could have possibly not been out if I didn't have time to weave in ends at the market. So that's just, it's just nice. It's also nice because I like rearranged that table, or those tables, there's multiple, so many times. Like, those bees were in 7 different places on that table, and I think I would have felt like nothing but stress if I couldn't make a decision for it tomorrow, like while I was setting up. And obviously things can still change. I can still choose to move things, like that's not set in stone. But I do feel a lot better. I feel a lot better because I was able to properly organize my inventory into the bins that I've like really kind of been putting off doing that well. One of the other things that I wanted to make sure that I did was go through to make sure I had everything, like of the extra stuff that I needed for the market. So I always suggest bringing a roll of tape, whether it be masking, packing, scotch, whatever. I personally have masking tape with me always. A pair of scissors. I usually bring stuff to crochet while I'm there, so I usually have scissors anyway. But just having a pair of scissors is just really helpful for setup. I also, one of the reasons that I preset up is because sometimes, like tonight when I was going through things, I had extra, or I had new like display items, or new to me display items that I hadn't put into, like they still had tags, they still had like wrapping. I have a new tablecloth that had like wrapping on it. The least amount of trash I can bring to a market, I personally find the better. Just because you don't know what the situation's going to be. You certainly don't want to litter. Like, you certainly, like, you want to, like, make sure that, like, you're leaving the grounds in a better spot than you found it. So, I think kind of doing all of that prep work it's a nice way to have a peace of mind for what can be a stressful event, especially if you're not used to doing markets, if you're not used to what is expected in the setup and cleanup. Running a trial run is a good choice. I mean, I've now officially done a full calendar year of markets for crochet, but prior to crochet, prior to the pandemic, I sold for like probably 2 or 3 years at markets my cross stitching, and I felt the same way of just kind of preparing first just really helps ease. I am a very anxious person, so, and markets already take a lot out of me because you have to be like on all day. You have to like make sure you're interacting with customers and make sure that they're comfortable and everything, which is fine, but it's definitely draining. And so kind of having that like, it's all good. I know where things go. I know, like, I was able to eliminate a couple of like display pieces that I'm not going to end up needing or using, and so that's less things that I need to bring and like schlep back and forth, which is fantastic. That was another reason I wanted to do that, was because I was trying to eliminate some of like the extra stuff. So all of that was good. So I'm going to stop rambling now because I'm already going to have to probably edit this clip down, and I'm going to keep working. Oh, why does my computer keep going dark? I'm going to keep working on pumpkins, and I will check in probably before I call it a night, and I'll show any progress that we have. So see you then. Alright, I know it's been a long night because I just went to start this and took a picture instead of a video, so nailed it. But we are at about 11:30 p.m. So we are doing hopefully our last thing of the night, which is getting these stems in these pumpkins. So I opted to do the cinnamon stick route for these stems, and while the hot glue is heating up, I'm going through and I'm choosing a stem for each of these pumpkins and putting them in the hole that I left, just so that I can easily go through and just go boop boop boop, and they then have stems. So I do think this is going to be the easiest thing. I think it's going to make it better because it's going to smell good. The issue is there's a couple of these acrylic pumpkins that I did before I knew I was going to do the cinnamon sticks, so I sewed them completely up. So this might be a separate thing that stays to the side, and then I will deal with that tomorrow. The other thing that I'm going to deal with when I actually get there is are two things actually. I did gather all of my paper bags. It might need to be trimmed. But I didn't sticker them yet, but I should have time in the morning to do that when I get there. I also haven't packed a market bag yet, but I know that I'm going to bring stuff for pumpkins. I won't be able to finish any while I'm there, but I can at least make the pumpkin guts. Oh, that's a good one. Which will be good. And so then I'll just have them to replenish for my next market, because my next market after tomorrow is a 2-day market. So I'm definitely going to have to make sure I'm like super prepared for that. So I'm okay if even those two don't really make it. Oh, then the other thing, I have so much still in my head. Look, thank God that list, I cannot recommend enough making a handwritten list, because I think I would have forgotten 700 things without it. But the market bag that we found in the inventory, yeah. So I'll be weaving in those ends tomorrow morning and then deciding if it's going to go out. I have another bag, so that can stay out fine. But yeah, no, it will be if we can get it done, fantastic. If not, that's fine. But I'm not going to stay up later just to weave in ends. It's not worth it. Bags are kind of a hit or miss situation for me anyway, so I'm not going to stress too much about it. Alright, these cinnamon sticks are a lot cuter than I thought they were going to be. I was a little worried just because I'd never done it before like this. I've always made the stems, like I've crocheted them myself, but I am realizing there's really no point because this looks great and it smells great, so that's good. I'm basically pairing up sizes as best as I can. Alright, and I think this is the last one. So my plan for gluing, so these all have long tails because I didn't finish like knotting them off because I didn't know if I was going to need more yarn. So I did bring scissors so that we can really finish them. I'm going to have them all dry overnight. I think that's overkill, but I'd rather just do that than put them immediately into my container, and I have overnight anyway, so I might as well. But anyway, so for the gluing process, because I can smell that this glue is ready, is I purposely pre-put them all in so that like the hole can be there. Rude. Runaway pumpkin. So I'm going to just put some glue inside the hole because I feel like it's less dangerous than me putting it on the cinnamon stick and then shoving it in. And then I'm going to shove the cinnamon stick in and hold for a couple seconds. It feels pretty secure. I don't want to test it too much. And then I'm going to cut the bottom string. And then honestly, I'll probably use all this scrap yarn for something. Maybe like a Franken pumpkin, because I have more scrap yarn in there because I always cut my ends too long. It's a constant issue I have. So, alright. So I'm just going to keep doing that, and then I'll show kind of an overview of what I have. And then I think I finally get to go get ready for bed. Now, one of the bummers is because I needed a third bin for inventory, which is not a bummer. That's very exciting that I had that much inventory. I needed 3 bins. But one of them was definitely holding a lot of yarn. And because I haven't reorganized my shelves yet like I've been wanting to. So tonight's not that night to reorganize my shelves, I can tell you that much, but it will be the night that the yarn finds its way in random Michaels bags that I have. So that's exciting because currently it is all over my bed and I can't go to sleep then. But we've done everything else on the list. I still have to cross out that I did clean out my fanny pack. I did charge my fuel rod, or it's charging. It's probably almost done at this point. So that's all set. I am very happy that I already updated everything for my square, because that is, for whatever reason, a thing that falls to the wayside every single time, and it really shouldn't. But I don't know. It's not one of the things that like I think about consistently, and so that's on me. I'll get better with that. That's adorable. These are really cute. I am glad that I stayed up and finished these, because this was my goal for last night and it just was not happening because I was still crocheting them. So this is the one thing I was saying to my sister and cousin earlier, that I actually feel for the first time fairly good about the amount of inventory I have. I feel like it's a solid amount for how long I'm going to be there and kind of like the general expectations. I do kind of wish I had a few more pumpkins. I have right now, let's run away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then I think I have 5 in the other room that have crocheted, and so that's 16, and then these other 2 that don't have stems. So I have 16 pumpkins, which is pretty good. I have 9 larger ones, 7 smaller ones. So we'll see how they do. I might put some on my website if people inquire, because I have that option now. So I'm also starting to lose my voice, which is fun. I think it's just because I'm tired. I've been up since 5 a.m. so I'm just like a wee bit tired. I'm definitely going to shower because I'm not sweating anymore, thank goodness. But when I was outside doing all of that like moving around stuff, I was definitely grosser than I wanted to be. I also got bit by quite a few bugs, which I did not love, but I guess who does. Alright, I am just full on rambling right now, and this is rough because this is the market day vlog, and I've already filmed easily an hour worth of footage that I'm going to have to whittle down, because this is not the stuff that you're looking for in a market day recap vlog. you're looking for the actual market day, and I know that. So I will see you in the morning, and I'll go through all the stuff that I have, like a general overview. I won't individually go through everything. That would be crazy. But yeah, I will see you then when I am hopefully looking more awake. Good night. Good morning. So it is officially market day. I've already packed up all of the pumpkins, so you'll see those there. I have to still bring out all the inventory to my car, but I figured because I had some time before I need to leave, I would do more bags and organize those of what I'm bringing, so I don't have to bring like more than I want to. Because honestly, if I run out of bags, then I run out of bags. Like, you know, that's fine. But hopefully we won't. So I have 26 more stickers. So I just put these stickers, they have my logo on them. There we go. On these bags that I got from Amazon. So it's pretty simple. And they're nice bags. And so I have done it this way. I don't know. I might at some point change. I only have these stickers left, and I have a whole market season. So I will have to do another order. And so I might change them slightly. I might make them a little bit bigger, honestly. And I might put like my website on them. That's kind of in my brain of what I want to do. But I've also gone through the original box that the bags that I already had were in. So I was able to see, to clean out like a bunch of like garbage that's in there too. So that's good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So most of my plushies fit in this size, so I will probably end up making sure I have more of those than any other size. I also will make sure I have, oh, that's the same size. Just kidding. I thought I had bigger. I have a couple of the bigger. Honestly, I'm not expecting to use those a ton. And a lot of people usually, because I always will offer a bag, a lot of people say no because they either bring their own, or they've already like gone somewhere else, and so they don't necessarily need a bag from me, which is totally fine. But I am glad that I'm doing it here still this morning. So again, less garbage to bring with me. And then this can be done. And the only thing that's left on my list, crazily enough, is just to weave in the ends of that market bag. So I will do that when I'm at the market. And then I'll put that out. But honestly, that's pretty good. Like, I feel weirdly prepared. I feel like at this point I've done these enough that I kind of know. I always have the anxiety that comes around like setting up and breaking down, but in terms of like having enough like inventory, I think I'm good. I'm going to consolidate these all to one box. I also was a little worried last night because when I was doing my mock setup outside, I have this red folder that comes with me to all of these markets, and it wasn't with my display stuff, which is where I had traditionally kept it. And I was like, because that's important because it has like my like tax ID, like it has like some like important documentation also. And then when I brought down this box of bags, I went, oh, that's where that folder is, because I figure it's a safer place than with all of my display stuff. So, and it was so safe, I forgot about it, so that worked out. All right, last bag. All right, so we're going to finish cleaning up. We have to leave in about 10 minutes. So I will pack my car with my inventory and like these bags. And then I will, yeah, I think that's it. And then I think we're on our way. So cool. I will hopefully see you there. We are packed up in the car. Here we go. Hello, and here we are. It's now Wednesday, so it's a few days after that market, and as you can tell from that last clip, I definitely came home with a lot less than I went with. So it was definitely a successful day. But let's go more into specifics about everything. I have some of the products next to me that didn't sell. I will put in pictures wherever I need to. And as always, if there's any specific patterns or anything that you're interested in knowing more about, definitely comment down below and I will provide all of the patterns that I use. So I have with me my handy dandy spreadsheet. So we will go through this. So to start, the top of my list are the bees. So I went with a dozen. Somehow I was counting 13 for like a lot of my time. Definitely only had 12. But I came home with 3. So, and all 3 were actually rainbow. There's another one of the bright rainbow that's in my bin. So these guys, but I think, what was it? 2 of the rainbow bees did sell. So I definitely still think having rainbow bees is a good idea, but people were definitely gravitating more towards the other solid colors other than yellow. So I might do a couple more for the next market as I'm prepping, which is good to know because they were popular. But it is good to know that bees will still sell in September because I really didn't know. I thought I was coming back with all of them. Just because I feel like they're more of a spring thing, but So that was exciting. So we ended up selling 9 bees, and that includes like rainbow, regular yellow, and the couple solid other colors that I had. I'm gonna put things behind me as I talk about them. My loaf cats, I went with 8 and I came home with 1. So we sold 7 of these loaf cats. It's still a wonderful pattern. I still so recommend getting it. It's from Annie Caraway Art. It's on Etsy. So this one always does really well for me. I had cats in all different colors, and so this little gray guy came home with me. I also, spoiler for the next market and the next market prep, I am looking to make keychains of this pattern, so it's smaller with acrylic. I definitely fully got the idea from a Crochet by Jenna video, so full credit to her. Still same pattern, but I made 1 so far and it's pretty cute, so hopefully I can make some more before that market. Then the next are mini octos. I have none to show. I went with 22 and they all sold out. So I definitely need more for the next one. I'm also working on putting some on keychains. So the only difference with that is now I have to figure out pricing for that, but that's fine. It's my cross to bear. I will do it. My tank turtles, I went with 7. I sold 4. So I have these 2 guys and then another one of the same colorway. I don't remember if it's this one or this one. But all of my pink and purple ones sold. And then I had more of these, so that's fine. 4 of them selling is great. I think honestly more would have sold if I had more, but that's okay. We'll just make more for the next one. My regular octos, I brought 10 with me. They're the ones that are this size. And I ended up selling 8 of them. So I have this one and another guy that came home with me. So that was pretty good. My crayons, I went with 10. I sold 2. This wasn't as popular of a product this time. Not fully surprising. These usually do a lot better for me for like Christmas time or the holiday time because people are thinking for like gifts of teachers they know. So I am happy that I already have 8 to bring to the next one, so I don't necessarily need to restock unless like I find myself in a place where I am just so done and prepared I could make crayons. It's not going to happen, but we can dream. So I feel good about having 8 for the next one because this is a slightly larger plushie. So to save that time, it's not a bad thing. And I know that they will sell eventually, so I'm not that worried about it. So we sold 2 of those. The whales, I have none to show because I went with 10 and all 10 sold. So I definitely also need to up the amount of whales I bring, and those are another thing I'm experimenting with keychains. So there's another bin. I thought I had everything. There must be some stuff in another bin, including the birds. So I will insert a photo here of them. They're cute. You also probably saw them in other clips because they were heavily featured in a lot of clips. But I went with 5 and I sold 3 of them. So that was pretty good. I think I came home with the yellow one and the purple one. No, maybe the purple one sold. I don't remember. But I came home with 2 of them. The axolotls, I don't have them to show. I had 9. I sold out of all 9. So those definitely need to be upped for the next market. Pop mushies, I went with 8 and I came back with 2. So I sold 6. These, it really depends. I think because, spoiler, when we get to it, I had the stress balls. These were my original, like, quiet fidgets. And those kind of, like, took over the excitement, which is completely fair. So I'm not surprised I didn't sell out, but 6 is still nothing to sneeze at for these. So, and I'm already 2 prepped, so that's exciting. Chicken nuggets, I went with 3. I came back with 2. I have another one of these in the bin. So I sold 1. Honestly, chicken nuggets, pickles, those are a real niche item that sometimes they sell really well and sometimes you sell 1, but they always are an interesting piece and people like to see them. They make comments about them and then they come into the tent more, so I'll take it. And they're not hard to make. So, and if these guys have to travel with me for a couple more markets, completely fine. Not worried about it at all. Last thing specific to the plushies that sold was I had that ghost and he sold, so that's exciting. Then I did mention before the stress balls. So I went with 35 of these things and I ended up selling 20. So it was 10 of them sold individually and 5 of them were part of the deal. I did a 2 for $12 deal because I sold one of these for $7. So half and half exactly split. Some just got the one because some of them were adding it to another order and then, or just getting it itself. And then some did do the deal because they had like 2 kids with them. Now, I've learned a lot with these stress balls because I came home with 13 intact, 2 popped. I need to keep display ones separate. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like 5 display ones with like 5 different colors so that people can like touch and do the little popping thing, do the whole thing. Oh my gosh, so fun. And then if they want to buy one, I will give them one fresh that hasn't been squozen as much, because what ended up happening is, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm putting a lot of effort into this squeeze and the ball part is barely coming out in comparison to like this one. Like it's a different feel. What was happening was because people were trying them, this one must have been towards the bottom, a lot of them were getting over like worked, and so because that, and so many hands were on them, the stress ball deflated quickly. So I will probably also be adding to my disclaimer, it already says if you squeeze too aggressively they will burst, as a disclaimer. But the other thing that I will probably put is that if you squeeze them too much, you will feel a difference in the ball itself. We live and we learn. That's why we were trying these out. I still think they were a huge success. I mean, just from these guys alone, I think, yeah, I ended up making like $130 from just stress balls. So like, that's kind of crazy. Obviously that doesn't count like all the time and the products or the materials, but still, like, that's pretty good. So they will be coming back. It's just gonna be revamped a little bit with how we do this, and that's fine. It's why we do this, to learn more. All right, so that's really plushie territory that sold. We then had non-plushie things that sold, and that included the hanging flowers, which I'll put a picture right here. I ended up selling 3 of them. I brought 6, so I sold half, which was pretty good. Scrunchies, I brought 10, I sold 3. Always a win when I sell scrunchies because they are such kind of like a more last minute make. So we enjoy that. And then I sold of my flowers, 1 tulip, 1 rose, and 1 daisy. So 3 flowers total. And then I sold a bag. That was like one of my first sales. So that bag if I have a picture, I will put it right here, but it was that rainbow granny square bag that sold. And oh, and then pumpkins. I can see it in the viewfinder. So I had small size ones and I had the bigger size. So the regular size, the bigger size, I ended up selling 4 of these, and the small size I sold 1. Now I definitely need to think of a better way to present these. I really liked my bucket. I still think it was a solid choice. The issue is people didn't necessarily want to like dig for more pumpkins, which made sense. So I have to figure out a better way to display that in general so that people will come over and not just look, but also like pick up and all the things. The other thing is we were still a little early for pumpkins. I think the October 2 markets I have, pumpkins are definitely going to be more on the mind. Totally fine. I now have these all prepped, which is great. I will end up prepping more, and so I'll have like a little bit of like a pumpkin patch situation. And any pumpkins that don't sell this year can easily sell next year. So like, I'm not worried about having pumpkins left over. They're cute and fairly easy to store. So that's everything that sold that was not plushie. Stuff that didn't sell. Nothing that shocked me. And not a lot wasn't sold at all. One thing was my lavender. I still have it all. So that's great. If anyone's looking for lavender, I have some. My monsters, I went with 2 of them. I have 2 of them again. I am hoping to make for the 2-day market another one of these guys, just so I have 3. Not a surprise. This is a very odd product. Very cute, and like people liked them a lot, but I don't expect these to sell as much. In that same vein, my dinosaur didn't sell. We'll put the picture here because he's upstairs, probably in the bin with the birds. And he did get a lot of looks. He actually wasn't picked up that much, which is fine with me. Balloon Dog, still have that guy too. Again, my bigger plushies, I wasn't really expecting to get rid of this market. This market's also in kind of a weird time frame of like, you're not really looking for Christmas. You're kind of looking for like, if you want to get something cool, if someone's birthday's coming up, great. But like, I feel like the bigger plushies are going to sell when people are thinking like, oh, I have this person to buy for Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever it is. So totally fine. Again, less big things I have to prep for the next market. So it works for me. The cozies for the Stanleys, I still have those. I still have all my bandanas. I think I will probably table bringing the bandanas and honestly the cozies for the rest of this season at least, just because we are now really going into fall. I might bring out a couple of them for, I have like 2 that are like true like holiday fairs. So I might bring them back out for those. There's one at the end of November and then one in the beginning of December, because those could be gifts for like teens. But I think for the next couple ones that are more marketed as fall, they'll probably stay home, and that's fine. But yeah, that's, oh, and this bag. So this was the bag of ends that I had to weave in. They're woven in. So this bag I still have. So that's fine. I'm working on another bag also for the next one. That's my current in my purse project that I just like bring with me. So this bag will have a friend soon. But yeah, that is inventory. And now let's get into numbers. So I will say I'm very, very happy with the result of this market. This market, or this festival, it was a festival, was from 10 to 4 on a Saturday. It was very, very well attended. It was this town's like big like fall celebration. So there were also a bunch of vendors from the town itself that were there that were giving out a lot of swag. And there was really only one row of like craft vendors that were actually like selling things. So I was a little worried on how this would go because people were going to get things like for free, like as promotional stuff. And so like I was like, are people really going to want to buy crafts? We'll see, hopefully. And they did. So I mean, to pull up the transactions, there were a lot. So according to my square, there were 83 transactions. My average transaction was somewhere around $13.35. And there was a grand total of $1,108. Yay! So I had a goal at the beginning of this year. I had many goals, but one of the goals was to make over $1,000 in gross sales at 3 different markets. And so the fact that I can already check off one during this busier season makes me so excited. I'm very happy. So with that, obviously numbers come off, but it is exciting to say that first number. There were something like less than $10 of square fees, so that's fine. The market to actually sell, because I did the early bird price, was $100 as opposed to $120. So that knocks off $100 of that total. And then I usually guesstimate about 30% for taxes, just to like overestimate, like to put that to the side. So that would be somewhere around like $300. So yeah, so that's the number side. Would I do this market again? Yes. This is the second market I've done in this specific town. I don't think I would do more than those 2 markets, even though I did really well at both. This was the same town that had the Strawberry Festival that I did in June, that I don't think I ever ran through numbers for, but I did under this, but like just under this, and that was a lot because I didn't have as much inventory. So that festival I walked away with like 6 plushies. Like that's all I had left in terms of plushies. I still had scrunchies and like other stuff like that, but for like plushies, like I literally only had 6. It was crazy. And so I definitely like both of these festivals. I fear that if I did too many in this particular town, then I might not do as well. Because, you know, if you know I'm coming twice a year, then you can be ready for that twice a year. So, who knows? Also, they don't really have anything else that's like this big as these 2 at different times a year. So I think this works really well. But yes, no, I would definitely do it again. The field is going to be different next year, which I'm excited, because I will say that setup and cleanup was a little bit stressful, just because of we had to park in a completely different place, which was fine. But when we started to like unload, there were a bunch of teenagers that like kind of swarmed in on golf carts and like took the stuff, and then we're like, we'll put it to your spot, you just move your car. So there was like a solid like 10 minutes before like I could get back to my stuff that I was like, I hope all my stuff made it there, because it happened like so quickly. And then the same kind of thing happened for cleanup. So my hope is that with the bigger field next year, we could possibly park a little bit closer, just so that that stress goes down a little bit. But I mean, ultimately, that's not a reason for me to not do this again, because I still think it was a really well-run festival. So yeah. But that's it for the video. It was kind of a long one, but I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you picked something up that you can hopefully use at your own market. If you have any questions about how I do anything for markets, how I prep anything at all, comment them down below and I will certainly answer it. We have our next market is October 5th and 6th. It is my first 2-day market. So there will be some market vlogs coming out leading up to that weekend, because we certainly have a lot more to prep, because I sold, oh, that was the other thing. I sold 116 items, which is like crazy. So crazy. But yeah, so definitely subscribe and to stay around for that. So if you hit the subscribe button down there, hit the like button, turn on the bell notification, all of the things. My socials, I have an Instagram and a TikTok. Both are at I Could Make That But, which is right here. And if any of these plushies that you saw or other items that you saw during this vlog seemed like something you needed to have, I have some of those items listed at my website right here, www.icouldmakethatbutt.com. So definitely visit. It will also be linked in the description, so you can click on it there, so that you can get your own crocheted items. Thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!